There are things that intelligent women simply never say because they understand something most people don't. Have you ever heard a woman say something that instantly made you lose respect? What does that say about her intelligence? It's not just about the words she chooses, but the deeper understanding behind them. Intelligent women know that words are tools of power, and with that power comes great responsibility. They don't speak carelessly or impulsively. Instead, they recognize the impact their words can have on their lives and the lives of those around them. In this video, we'll uncover the 8 things that intelligent women avoid saying, and why their silence or restraint is rooted in a deeper, more insightful approach to life. Words are powerful. They shape how we see the world, how others perceive us, and how we feel about ourselves. The Stoics taught that thoughts lead to words, and words lead to actions. In this context, the things you choose to say or not say hold immense weight. Intelligent women recognize this, and they have mastered the art of communication in a way that commands respect rather than inadvertently losing it. In Stoic philosophy, self-control and clarity of thought are central principles. Both require us to choose our words deliberately, to speak with purpose, and to avoid letting emotions drive our speech. By not saying certain things, intelligent women demonstrate a deeper understanding of their own power and emotional resilience. In this video, we'll not only explore these 8 phrases that intelligent women avoid, but we'll also tie them to Stoic wisdom, showing how these unspoken principles can lead to a more intentional, empowered life. By learning from these women's wisdom, you'll gain insight into how to communicate more effectively, command respect, and strengthen your own inner peace. The phrase, "I can't do this," is one of the most limiting things anyone can say, yet it's a phrase many people unconsciously repeat in times of self-doubt or fear. For an intelligent woman, this phrase is never part of her vocabulary. She understands the immense power that belief, specifically self-belief, has on her ability to overcome obstacles and achieve her goals. Intelligent women recognize that their capacity to succeed is directly tied to their mindset. When they face challenges, they don't claim defeat with words like, "I can't do this." Instead, they approach the situation with resilience and an unwavering belief in their own ability to find a solution, no matter how difficult it may seem. Intelligent women don't allow self-limiting thoughts to dictate their actions. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity for growth. They don't view failure as an end, but as a lesson, a stepping stone on the path to success. This belief allows them to approach even the most complex problems with confidence, knowing that with the right approach, they will eventually figure it out. Take, for example, a woman at work who faces a complex issue that seems insurmountable. Instead of thinking, "I can't do this," which would immediately shut down her capacity for problem solving, she says to herself, "I haven't figured it out yet, but I will find a way." By reframing the challenge in this way, she opens herself up to finding solutions, thinking creatively, and remaining persistent. Her ability to continue moving forward with a positive mindset, even when things seem difficult, is what sets her apart. This mindset doesn't just apply in the professional setting, but in her personal life as well. Whether it's a difficult relationship, a personal goal, or a new skill she's trying to develop, she approaches life with the belief that she has the ability to handle anything that comes her way. She recognizes that her growth is directly tied to her ability to view challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for development. Intelligent women understand that the world may offer them plenty of reasons to doubt themselves, but the most dangerous thing they can do is to internalize those doubts. Every time someone says, "I can't do this," they unknowingly affirm a lack of capability. shutting off their own potential. They limit their growth by refusing to challenge their beliefs about what they are truly capable of. The intelligent woman, on the other hand, sees challenges as chances to improve. Even in the face of failure, she knows that it's not the end. It's merely feedback to adjust her strategy and try again. This doesn't mean she denies her limitations. Rather, she acknowledges them and works within them. Intelligent women know their boundaries and work to expand them, rather than allow fear of failure to hold them back. They aren't afraid of trying and failing because they know that failure is not a permanent state. It is simply a phase of learning, and they embrace it without hesitation. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, have a powerful insight about obstacles. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. For an intelligent woman, this is a core principle. She knows that obstacles are not things to be avoided, but challenges to be embraced. Every challenge is a test of her strength, and overcoming it is part of her journey. It's not just about solving problems, but about growing through them. When faced with a challenge, instead of focusing on the obstacle itself, she focuses on the solution. She shifts her mindset from "I can't do this" to "How can I solve this?" The problem itself becomes the way forward. She turns what could be seen as a setback into an opportunity for advancement. She understands that life is full of obstacles, and the ability to navigate them with grace and persistence is what defines success. For example, if she's working on a major project and hits a roadblock, rather than succumb to frustration or self-doubt, she will pause, assess the situation, and reframe the problem as an opportunity to innovate. She understands that obstacles are not her enemies. They are catalysts for her own growth and creativity. Stoicism teaches that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond to it. The Stoic mindset is about accepting the things we cannot see while working tirelessly on the things we can control. Intelligent women apply this philosophy in their daily lives. They understand that the only real limitation is the one they impose on themselves through negative thinking. When they refuse to say, "I can't do this," they take ownership of their ability to create solutions, adapt, and grow. For an intelligent woman, saying "I can't do this" isn't just about the words. It's a reflection of her inner belief system. Instead of allowing the external circumstances to dictate her actions, she chooses to take full responsibility for her reactions. In doing so, she puts herself in a position of power, where her belief in her ability to succeed becomes her greatest tool. At its core, the ability to avoid saying "I can't do this" is rooted in resilience. Resilience doesn't mean avoiding pain or difficulty, but it means facing adversity with the understanding that you are capable of learning from it and adapting. An intelligent woman is resilient because she recognizes that setbacks are not personal failures, but learning experiences. Every time she faces a challenge, she develops greater strength, wisdom, and understanding. This resilience is not just about bouncing back after a setback. It's about constantly moving forward, even when things are uncertain. Intelligent women embrace the uncertainty of life, knowing that it's through embracing discomfort and challenges that they evolve. They build their emotional and intellectual muscles by consistently tackling obstacles one by one, without ever declaring defeat. The phrase "I can't do this" is a sign of a fixed mindset, a belief that things are beyond your control. Intelligent women avoid this phrase because they recognize that they control their response to challenges. They understand that belief in themselves is their greatest asset, and that obstacles are not to be feared, but welcomed as opportunities for growth. By adopting a Stoic mindset that embraces obstacles and reframes challenges as pathways to success, intelligent women empower themselves to rise above any situation. They do not limit themselves by saying, "I can't do this," because they know they are capable of finding solutions and overcoming anything that comes their way. By embracing this mindset, you too can shift from a fixed, self-limiting belief system to a growth-focused, resilient one. The next time you face a challenge, remember that it is not the obstacle that defines you, but how you respond to it. Intelligent women know the value of support and collaboration. In a world that often champions the ideal of absolute independence, the phrase "I don't need anyone" is becoming more commonplace, especially among women who want to convey strength and self-sufficiency. However, intelligent women understand that this phrase is often an illusion. While autonomy and independence are undoubtedly important, they also recognize that human beings are inherently social creatures, and true strength lies in knowing when and how to lean on others. An intelligent woman does not confuse needing others with weakness. Instead, she acknowledges that human connection, collaboration, and support are vital aspects of both personal and professional growth. Saying "I don't need anyone" may sound empowering on the surface, but it can be a defense mechanism, a shield designed to protect against vulnerability. Yet in doing so, it cuts off one of the most enriching aspects of life: the ability to connect with and learn from others. While self-reliance is important, intelligent women understand that isolation can be just as limiting as dependence. They recognize that having a solid support system can fuel personal growth and open doors to new opportunities. They value collaboration, mentorship, and the mutual exchange of ideas because they know that these connections elevate their own wisdom and capabilities. For instance, a woman might express that she doesn't need a romantic partner to be happy, emphasizing her ability to find joy and fulfillment within herself. Yet, she acknowledges that she values shared experiences and the strength that comes from engaging in meaningful relationships. These relationships, whether personal or professional, are not about dependency, but about mutual respect, growth, and collaboration. They don't define her happiness, but they add value to her life and provide avenues for learning and development. This mindset is especially relevant in the workplace, where successful collaboration is often the key to success. Intelligent women recognize that working with others, whether in a team setting or through mentorship, allows them to leverage collective skills, experiences, and perspectives that they may not have on their own. They understand that together, people can accomplish far more than they can alone. The need for emotional support is just as important. A Stoic woman knows that it's okay to lean on others when times get tough, and in fact, doing so can create opportunities for growth, learning, and resilience. Asking for support isn't about being weak, it's about being resourceful. It's a recognition that sometimes, in order to move forward, we need others to help us navigate our path. When a woman says, "I don't need anyone," there may be an underlying belief that dependence on others means a loss of control or vulnerability. It can imply that needing someone else's emotional support, advice, or companionship somehow diminishes her strength. However, this belief fails to acknowledge the reality that human beings are not isolated islands. We are wired for connection and interdependence. In fact, research in psychology and social science has shown that people who embrace interdependence, the mutual reliance between individuals, experience greater emotional well-being and personal growth. Healthy interdependence doesn't create weakness. It fosters strength, resilience, and an ability to adapt. Intelligent women understand that asking for help, building supportive networks, and acknowledging their emotional needs are integral parts of their personal strength. This kind of interdependence is not about giving away control or relying on others for happiness. Rather, it's about fostering relationships that contribute to personal growth while maintaining the autonomy to make individual decisions. It's about finding balance, being strong enough to stand on your own, but wise enough to ask for help when you need it. Imagine a woman who has spent years building a successful career. She is independent, confident, and skilled at what she does. She prides herself on not needing anyone to define her worth. However, as she progresses in her career, she realizes that there are moments where collaboration with others takes her ideas and projects to the next level. She might be faced with a complex problem that requires expertise beyond her own knowledge. Instead of trying to solve it alone, she reaches out to a mentor, someone who can offer a fresh perspective and insight. This doesn't diminish her value or independence. It enhances her strength. By acknowledging that she doesn't have all the answers and seeking help when needed, she creates opportunities to learn, grow, and ultimately achieve greater success. Through this process, she builds connections and fosters relationships that not only benefit her career, but also enrich her life. In personal relationships too, intelligent women recognize the value of connection. They understand that being vulnerable and open to others is not a sign of weakness, but a powerful act of courage and trust. Whether with friends, family, or a romantic partner, they know that the strength of a relationship lies in mutual support, respect, and understanding. The Stoics, particularly Seneca, had a profound understanding of the importance of human connection. We are social animals, and to reject others is to reject part of our humanity, he said. This statement encapsulates the Stoic view that we are not meant to live in isolation. While Stoicism values self-sufficiency and emotional resilience, it also emphasizes the value of interdependence and connection with others. Seneca's wisdom reminds us that we should never be afraid to rely on others for support, guidance, or companionship. In fact, to isolate ourselves completely is to go against the very nature of what it means to be human. The Stoics didn't advocate for complete independence at the cost of isolation. Rather, they understood that true strength comes from both personal mastery and the ability to foster healthy, supportive relationships with others. A Stoic woman understands that relationships, whether familial, professional, or romantic, are essential to a fulfilling life. She does not reject the need for connection. She embraces it. She knows that seeking the support of others and collaborating with them in her personal and professional life only serves to elevate her own capabilities. Saying, "I don't need anyone," can be a defense mechanism against vulnerability. But intelligent women understand that interdependence is not a weakness, it is a strength. They value collaboration, emotional support, and mentorship, recognizing that these relationships are essential for growth, success, and happiness. By acknowledging the importance of human connection and seeking support when necessary, intelligent women build a foundation of strength that is enriched by the people around them. In the Stoic tradition, true strength comes not only from within, but from the connections we nurture with others. Intelligent women are wise enough to know that while autonomy is important, so too is the ability to build meaningful relationships and work in harmony with others. By embracing interdependence, they elevate not only their own lives, but the lives of those around them. The phrase, "I'm fine," has become an automatic response for many, often used to deflect or avoid deeper emotional engagement. However, intelligent women understand the importance of emotional control and are aware of when to speak and when to remain silent. They know that emotions are not something to be suppressed or ignored, but rather something to be acknowledged, processed, and expressed in a way that maintains their integrity and clarity. When "I'm fine" is used as a defensive response, it serves as a shield to mask true feelings. It may be an attempt to avoid conflict or protect oneself from vulnerability. but it also prevents honest communication and emotional growth. Intelligent women recognize that while they may need time to process their emotions, denying or burying them only prolongs emotional unrest and may damage relationships in the long term. Instead of saying, "I'm fine" when upset, an intelligent woman would take the opportunity to be honest and direct. "I'm upset right now, but I need some time to process it." This statement avoids the trap of burying emotions and allows space for emotional understanding. It communicates both her feelings and her need for space, fostering clear and healthy communication. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Epictetus, a Stoic approach to emotional mastery, is grounded in self-awareness and the ability to respond to emotions with composure, not suppression. Intelligent women embrace this philosophy by acknowledging their emotions, reflecting on them, and expressing them thoughtfully. This mastery of emotional control enhances their relationships, integrity, and inner peace. Imagine hearing someone say, "This is just how I am. Take it or leave it." To an intelligent woman, this phrase is more than just an excuse. It signifies the end of growth. It reflects a mindset that resists change and improvement. For an intelligent woman, growth is essential. She understands that intelligence is rooted in continuous learning and self-awareness, and saying "this is just how I am" stands in direct opposition to that. This phrase is a barrier to personal evolution. Instead of using it as an excuse for stagnation, intelligent women embrace their flaws and imperfections. They do not see them as permanent, but as areas for improvement. They actively seek to evolve, both in their professional lives and personal relationships. This is a key difference between someone who is content with mediocrity and someone who understands the value of progress. The most intelligent people are not those who believe they have all the answers, but those who are open to change and adaptation. Intelligence isn't about rigidly holding on to who you are. It's about constantly evolving and being willing to improve. Saying "this is just how I am" prevents individuals from tapping into their potential. It becomes a justification for their behavior, even when that behavior isn't conducive to healthy relationships or growth. Intelligent women know that evolution is a lifelong process. They take responsibility for their actions and emotions, choosing to confront and improve the aspects of themselves that are holding them back. This willingness to change allows them to unlock new levels of personal potential, whether it's in their career, their relationships, or their own self-development. What waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Stoicism teaches us that personal growth is not optional, it is essential. We are all on a journey of constant evolution, and stagnation is a choice. Intelligent women understand this profound truth and recognize that the journey of self-improvement never ends. By embracing their flaws, being open to change, and committing to growth, they ensure that they become the best versions of themselves, continuously evolving rather than stagnating in their current state. The power of intelligent women lies not just in what they say, but in what they avoid saying. Their words carry weight because they are chosen carefully, deliberately, and with an acute awareness of their impact. Through the lens of Stoic wisdom, they understand that communication is an art that can either build or break. By applying the principles of self-awareness, emotional control, and deliberate expression, they prevent unnecessary conflicts and unlock deeper connections. Real intelligence comes from within, through self-awareness, emotional regulation, and the humility to continuously grow and learn. The next time you find yourself tempted to speak one of these phrases, pause and ask yourself, is this a reflection of the best version of myself? Does this align with the values I want to embody? The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius. The words you speak reflect your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your world. Which of these phrases do you catch yourself saying? Let us know in the comments below. And if you want to continue refining your life through Stoic wisdom, subscribe for more insights into powerful communication and self-mastery. This message will inspire the audience to reflect on their own communication, spurring engagement and self-awareness. They will feel motivated to share their experiences, further deepening the conversation.